Hi guys, my name is Nonima Dikela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So on this video, I want us to focus on the evidence that was given by Captain Masondo. I think he was Captain Masondo. I'm not sure which rank he's in. I think captain or sergeant. I'm not sure. Hey, whatever he was, warrant officer, captain, sergeant, I'm not sure. But he gave evidence when it comes to accused number 3. Why am I talking about this? It's because the chief of staff of Mkhunu told us something that is quite interesting. He said that the police can come, raid your house, and then they can plant the white powder. If not, they can plant the firearm, and then sometimes they can even unalive you and plant a firearm and also lie and say that you reached for the firearm while they attempt to unalive you. So sometimes people. So what I'm getting at is that we ended up understanding Gucci. So the accused were not lying when they said the firearms were planted. I choose number two and number. I choose number two. I choose number three. I choose number one. One, two, and three. They spoke of planted firearms, right? If yeah, I think so. So if in their through their lawyers, so if that is the case, and then someone that was a police from being a constable to working for IDEC, like IDEC is investigating police officers, is that branch of SEPS that investigates police officers for their criminal activities. So if that happens, then that means if that chief of staff can tell South Africans, do a media briefing and say that no, police are capable of doing that, then the accused were not lying. They were planted with those firearms that they say belong to them. So this is what Masondo said. Who is Masondo? Oh, he's Sergeant Mandla Masondo. He's a seasoned officer in South African Police Services with over 20 years of experience. He testified as a state witness in the Senzo Mewa trial, and his testimony was centered around the arrest of accused number 3 and the discovery of a firearm in his possession. Here are the key points that you need to take note of from Sergeant Masondo's testimony. Discovered the firearm. It was 9th February 2015. Masondo and his team arrested accused number 3 in Cleveland, in Johannesburg, during an investigation into a taxi-related murder case in Alexandra. Upon searching his room, they found a black 9mm CZ Republic pistol with a serial number filled off, placed on top of a wardrobe. The firearms magazine was fully loaded with 15 rounds, and 1 round was in the chamber. Additionally, a small blue box containing 12 more rounds of ammunition was discovered. Accused number 3 could not produce a license for the firearm, leading to charges of unlawful possession of a firearm and ammunition. That's number 1. Okay. What I'm getting interesting here, there's a blue box. Also, choose number 1. I choose number 2. It was a blue box, blue situation. So does that mean a small blue box containing these things? Guys, no, it can't be a coincidence. Why would 3 different people who were not found in the same space at different times, especially number 3, that was 2015, and then 1 and 2, that was 2020, and in different spaces. The other one was in Northwest, the second one was in Gauteng. Something is amiss here. And then accused number 3 could not produce a license for the firearm, leading to charges. Okay. The second thing, cell phone evidence. His Samsung GTE 2220 cell phone was seized during the arrest. Upon examination, the phone contained photographs of multiple firearms, including one labeled "My Killing Machine." These images were presented as evidence to establish accused number 3's familiarity with firearms. Number 3, physical description at a time of arrest. At the time of his arrest, accused number 3 had dreadlocks and an injured hand. The description was noted to potentially match witness accounts of the assailant involved in Meyiwa murder. Okay. Number 4, tracing the firearms ownership. Through forensic etching methods, the firearm was traced to a Fidelity security officer in Centurion, indicating it was previously issued to a security company. So these are defense challenges when it comes to this. No link to Meyiwa murder. Ne? Masondo admitted that the firearm and ammunition found in accused number 3's possession were not conclusively linked to Senzo Meyiwa's murder in October 2014. He even said if it was linked, he would have known. The mere fact that it did not come up at that time, then no, it was not linked because there was other cases that the firearm was searched against, like on the IB system. Yes, it did not come up. And then there is a lack of fingerprint analysis. Under cross-examination, Masondo acknowledged that no fingerprint tests were conducted on the firearm, magazine, or the blue box containing. It goes back to planted situations or planted things. So according to the chief of staff, who was a police officer and went and worked at IDEC, he said these things can be planted to people's houses. So what if these things were also planted for accused number 3? Absence of search warrant. The defense highlighted that the search of accused number 3's residence was conducted without a warrant, raising questions about the legality of the evidence obtained. Do you understand, guys, now? Ukuti, these things are taking us back to what the chief of staff said. Potential evidence tampering. Concerns were raised about the possibility of the firearm being swapped during its time in police custody, as it was stored in an unsealed bag for an extended period of time. Yeah, these are things that happened, ne? These are things that happened. So the evidence of Masondo was used by the state, and it was also used by the defense. The state, Masondo's evidence is meant to show that accused number 3 had been in possession of illegal firearms and ammunition, had phone evidence with images of guns, and possibly had the physical description dreadlocks consistent with the witness identifications relating to the Vosloorus crime scene. They are used to establish suspicion and to tie the accused into patterns of behavior, prior possessions, etc. At the same time, defense on their side, they allege the legality of the search, no warrant. They point out the absence of direct links, no fingerprints, no ballistic tests that directly connect the bullet or gun seized in 2015 to the bullet in Vosloorus in October 2014. They also emphasize the delay and the fact that the seized firearms were not previously linked to the Meyiwa case, suggesting the evidence isn't strong enough to convict. Yabo? So, hey guys, kuningi nje, kuningi. So that makes us, when we look at the things that happened emapoliseni, we question a lot of things. We're not saying there are no good cops, but we are now realizing that there's a lot of things that have happened that should have never happened to begin with. If a chief of staff is going to speak like that, and also not just the chief of staff, by the way, do you remember they did General CBI an interview back, was it July, I think? And he was so angry at Mkwanazi and also pointing at Aibu, am I the only one who's doing something wrong? What was that supposed to mean? What was that supposed to mean? Do you guys understand how bad these things look for SEPs? They look bad for SEPs. But yeah, tomorrow is the 13th of October, and the Senzo Meyiwa case is returning to the courtrooms, and also the case now the defense is starting their defense with the witnesses of the accused, including the accused taking the stand. We are going to see who is going to take. I suppose accused number one is going to take the stand, unless, of course, they are going to first start with witnesses. Then that leaves us to wonder who is going to be the first witness for the defense. And sorry, I know that we are all waiting in what we are like, who's gonna start? Babu Zungu. Babu Zungu, perhaps, is he going to be the one that is going to start for the defense? And when he comes, is he going to be as bold as he was when he was interviewed by Daily Sign and Jabulo? What's going to happen when it comes to that? Like, there's a lot of questions that we have. I don't know what are your thoughts when it comes to all of this, but okay, it is what it is. Let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. I will see you on our next video. Enjoy your Sunday. Bye-bye.